I just wanted to bring up that there's another important element of partnership that you have to bring, and that is the crew. I have to. But one of the interesting things, of course, with this panel is that you do have a commonality. Your production manager was the same all the way across. Different genres, different types of shows, all around the same budget. You all had Craig Cameron as your production manager, and was also one of the people on roaming as well. And I think the crew is a very important partner about all that. So what are you looking for when you're talking about that? But I think the other thing I wanted to mention as well is, and this is more for the crowd, all of these films were shot under union contracts. They came to us specifically because you wanted that expertise, you wanted that understanding of what the crews that our union can provide. And that's the training, and that's the background, and that's the experience. And it's about the ability to work with shows at this level, that it's not just the bigger budget things that a union can provide contracts with, but it's also shows of this scale as well. I think that's an important element to think about when you're talking about these level of productions.
You're absolutely right, man. It's all about the team. It's the right players on the ice. It's what Clint Eastwood calls casting the crew. You know, he works a lot with the same crew over and over again, and he doesn't just hire his crew. He hires them for a certain disposition, a personality, a skill set, so that the whole crew will mesh in the way that a ensemble cast does. And I love that. It can be tougher to use that principle in a low budget scenario, but it's a nice idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just put a plug in for the next thing I'm doing in 2 weeks' time, I think. We're doing a web series, and it's only 6 days, and it's 150 grand. It's not a lot of money, but we are using ACTRA and hiring the talent and working with that union because we want the best that we can have on camera. As far as the other unions for that show, it's it's kind of small potatoes, obviously. So and I did talk to Tim about that, and so it is about getting the best people around. We did talk about the creatives, the writers, the producers, but obviously the talent is really important behind the camera and in front of the camera. It's called Everybody's Famous. Watch for it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I didn't realize that we, I guess I did, but I hadn't thought of Craig Cameron that worked with all of us. And I think there's crew, cast and crew that we've all worked with together because, again, this industry is extremely small. When you go from New Brunswick to the Atlantic provinces to Canada, but they're, watching Charlie's Own, I'm always interested to see the credits and oh, that was our production designer. That was, and it's the same people, and they, much like the films that have been done through the different, whether it's F-Coop or the New Brunswick Film Co-op, I mean, the crew are so huge and so important, and we considered a lot of different things when we interviewed our keys for the different departments, and tried to assemble a team that we thought would mesh very well together, and that did happen. We just can't say enough about the crew, and the union folks, represent them. And it was a great experience for us as first-time feature producers to work with the unions and their people. And John Houston was talking this morning about driving a fake Brinks bank truck on 2 wheels in 1979, and how it may not have been too much in place in terms of safety, and those are the kind of things that are brought to the forefront with the trained union folks, is the safety issues and having that technical expertise. And I think it was just hugely important to work with the union representatives.
You just mentioned it's important to travel, to network. Is there a way to get financing to go to all those places, or does that come out of your pocket?
Well, for us in New Brunswick, a lot of it does. And in a lot of cases, we're sort of reinvesting any development funding or any fees that we get. We typically use them for what we call training and development. But there is a program in New Brunswick for training. But it's sort of it's based on the government fiscal year, so the earlier you get in, starting April 1st, the better. I don't know where things stand with the program this year, but they do have a program in place. And much like I think they have.
Nova Scotia has something like that too. Yeah.
For producers, though, right?
It's primarily for producers. Yes, it's just 50%. So, you know, get to know one of these producers, and if you're a writer or director, make them take you.
So I'd just like to say thank you very much for these three for coming and being on this panel, and thank you very much for being here.